The wind right now, but temperatures will start to warm up as we head into later this week. I'll have more on that in my full forecast.
UNC could see a tuition increase. What that means for potential new students.
Plus the latest on the shutdown.
Carolina Week starts right now.
UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community. This is Carolina Week.
Welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Mackenzie Acton.
And I'm Emma Hill. It is extremely cold outside. Our Megan Giller is outside the studio with what we can expect to warm up.
Check out everyone walking behind me. You can see everybody in their jackets and sweatshirts, and you can see the leaves moving behind me and my hair blowing in the wind. It's going to be a bit breezy today. Temperatures are only going to stay within the lower 60s, but we'll start to warm up by the end of this week. I'll have a full forecast for you coming up later.
The UNC Board of Trustees is considering raising tuition for new students. Carolina Week's Kate Chapman tells us how the proposal could impact future Tar Heels.
The decision on whether to increase tuition could change who calls Carolina home, especially for students coming from outside North Carolina.
For the first time in almost a decade, UNC Chapel Hill is deciding whether to raise tuition for new undergraduates. The proposal would increase in-state tuition by 3% and out-of-state tuition by 10%, starting with students entering next fall. Current students wouldn't see any changes to tuition. For many prospective students like Maggie Garrett, UNC's reputation is what draws them in. Higher out-of-state costs could create a challenge.
I don't think that's fair because there's so many students and UNC is so diverse that they're coming from all over the place that it wouldn't be a fair chance for them to get the same education as in-state students because of the rising cost.
Some trustees say the changes are designed to protect affordable access for North Carolina students, keeping their tuition low while asking non-residents to pay closer to market value. In a written statement to Carolina Week, Trustee Marty Cotis pointed to the state constitution's call to keep higher education affordable for North Carolina families. He said he supports keeping in-state tuition the same and raising non-resident rates to ensure local students aren't subsidizing others. Trustee Jim Blaine agreed, saying he also opposes any in-state tuition increase. But for prospective students outside North Carolina, the higher out-of-state rate could influence their college decisions.
It would definitely make me want to stay in-state more than any other options I had outside.
The proposal would take effect for new students starting in fall 2026 if approved by the board. The Board of Trustees will vote on the proposal tomorrow morning.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, may be coming to North Carolina, according to a CNN report that cites ICE officials. The report indicates officials are eyeing Charlotte as a possibility to ramp up enforcement, but stressed plans are still being finalized. The top Border Patrol officer leading the charge on Trump administration's immigration crackdown in cities planning to leave Chicago. As early as this week, Gregory Bovino has become the face of Donald Trump's effort to surge federal law enforcement into blue states and cities, regardless of whether local officials want them there or not. Another city mentioned as a possibility in the new report is New Orleans.
At day 42, we are living through the longest government shutdown in history. However, the House of Representatives is expected to vote ending the shutdown later this afternoon.
Coming to an end.
That was Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. The Senate took a key step toward reopening the government Sunday night after drastic impacts, including unpaid federal workers, air traffic controller shortages, and the loss of critical food assistance through SNAP benefits. 7 Democrats and an independent crossed party lines and reached a deal with Senate Republicans and the White House in exchange for a future vote on extending enhanced affordable care subsidies. But not all Democrats agree with the deal, the sticking point for many, health care.
Does that mean you're a definite no on voting to end the shutdown?
I'm a definite no because I see it as a raw deal for 24 million working families who are about to see their premiums more than double.
Here in North Carolina, 1.4 million people rely on SNAP benefits, according to Governor Josh Stein.
This administration has shut down SNAP benefits. People do not have their full benefits. People are not able to put food on their table to the degree that they need to keep children from being hungry.
Orange County leaders have approved emergency funding to help local food providers, including organizations like Port Hillsboro, to feed families impacted by the SNAP crisis. In emergency funds to Port Hillsboro for an additional food distribution. The emergency food distribution served about 500 families. The Port Hillsboro director says the effort was possible only through volunteers, community partnerships, and county support, but still has a few concerns.
Up like this, and we need it. I'm not saying stop, but I am concerned about when people start to really feel that burnout because they're taking on the responsibility of where our government should be helping, and they are not.
As families face uncertainty with SNAP benefits, Port Hillsboro says it will continue providing food support to those in need.
Students at UNC are stepping in to help Chapel Hill's unhoused community as food prices rise and federal benefits are disrupted.
This is such a good little lineup we have going on here.
A ham sandwich, a granola bar, an orange, and some water. That's one of dozens of bags volunteers prepare every week.
Perfect. This bag's been through a lot.
They call it Feeding Franklin, a group of UNC students serving food to those living on or near Franklin Street.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. God bless you guys. God bless you. Have a good evening.
Simple, until every bag is gone in minutes.
I'm all out. All out.
As food prices rise and budgets for assistance programs shrink, one student-led group is working to bridge the gap for Chapel Hill's unhoused community.
It's important now more than ever. I feel like in today's economy, like there is so much loss.
President of Outreach Meg Bivens says that they serve around 20 people a week. Sometimes they end up with bags left over, but today they ran out within 20 minutes.
This is a pressing and a present issue, and like people are like worthy of having food and having care and being treated with kindness.
President of Logistics Savannah Hicks grew up in this area, and she hopes more students will look beyond campus to recognize the community in need around them.
We have to be able to like open our eyes to see them as well. Amidst the busyness, amidst the craziness.
And just like that, it's time to pack up. But for Bivens and Hicks, the work doesn't stop there.
We have some plans to like hopefully do like some more like fundraisers and things like that, just so that we can like provide on a bigger scale.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Aaliyah Mitchell, Carolina Week.
The group plans to expand and provide clothing and other immediate needs as they gather proper funding.
Cancer researchers at UNC say they have found a way to help decrease tumor growth and better fight off melanoma, a type of skin cancer. At UNC's Comprehensive Cancer Center, researchers have been working for 4 years to find ways to help with already existing treatments for skin cancer. Researchers confirmed that a specific protein leads to the growth of melanoma in the recently published study. They found a way to disrupt cancer's tumor growth. This allows immunotherapies to be more efficient in their treatment, according to an expert on cancer cell biology at UNC. The researchers and the lead author for the study are looking forward to the next steps.
And this data is reproducible and can be applied to CAR T therapy. And we are very exciting.
So targeted delivery may be the next goal. We just want to specifically engage and deliver this inhibitor to tumor site.
Both researchers are already working on new projects to find more ways to treat skin cancer.
That was a lot of information, but we still have more to get to.
Coming up on Carolina Week, Western North Carolina saw snow. Our meteorologist tells you if you need to bundle up this weekend.
And the Arboretum is taking volunteers. How you could volunteer to help. Coming up on Carolina Week.
On Carolina Week, a change in the map that favors Republicans, what the new map means for political control on Capitol Hill.
And UNC is getting a new school of AI, what that means for future majors. Carolina Week starts now.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Mackenzie Acton.
And I'm Leah Mitchell.
The North Carolina Senate has approved new congressional maps that redraw the state into more Republican-favored districts. Our Kate Chapman is in the studio breaking it all down. Kate, what does this new map impact on the legislature?
I want to start at the very beginning with a key term, gerrymandering. Right now, you'll hear a lot of Democrats use this term, not a lot of Republicans. So here's what it is. Gerrymandering means drawing electoral districts to give one party an advantage. And in this case, the Republicans gain the advantage by 1 seat. This process started just last week when Republican leaders Phil Berger and Destin Hall announced they were drawing a new map. Their goal? To increase the number of North Carolina Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives from 10 to 11. Let's take a look at what our map looks like right now. You can see it's overwhelmingly red in areas except around Wake and Mecklenburg County and this big chunk of eastern North Carolina. That includes 22 counties like Nash and Edgecombe. Now let's look at our new map. You will immediately notice that previous blue section of eastern North Carolina is now red. So how were Republicans able to do this? First, they took heavily concentrated Democratic regions and broke them up into smaller districts. Think of it like slicing a pizza. So one person gets most of the toppings. Those slices aren't going to be even. They'll be cut in weird, uneven shapes, all designed to give that one person with all the toppings an advantage. Now with this new map, there will be a few super blue districts and a bunch of lighter red districts. So what does this mean for the layout of the North Carolina legislature? Right now, Democrat Don Davis represents District 1, this big slice that used to be blue in eastern North Carolina. And with this new map, Davis is almost guaranteed to lose his seat. So this means District 1 will shift from a swing left-leaning district to a Republican district, with the addition of this land on the coast. Berger believes this new map represents the interests of North Carolinians. He posted this statement on X, saying, "This new map represents the will of North Carolina voters who sent President Trump to the White House 3 times. But Representative Don Davis pushed back on X, saying that though he has received thousands of messages from voters of all viewpoints, quote, not a single one of them included a request for a new congressional map redrawing eastern North Carolina. Clearly, this congressional map is beyond the pale. Now, with more Republican-leaning districts, the party stands to gain greater control in Washington. That could help Republicans push national priorities like immigration reform and spending cuts, while making it harder for Democrats to block Republican-backed legislation. The maps passed 26-20 in the Senate and will likely be approved through a final vote in the House since Republicans are the majority. That vote is taking place right now. The House is meeting right now, and they are going to vote later, and we are keeping an eye on it. Back to you.
Thank you, Kate. We are now on day 22 of the government shutdown. Lawmakers have still not reached a deal on the spending plan, which impacts over 700,000 federal workers across the country.
In the shutdown.
At 21 days, the government shutdown is now tied for the second longest in U.S. history. Democrats say they want a funding bill that addresses Medicaid cuts and expiring Obamacare subsidies.
Tens of millions of Americans are about to experience dramatically increased premiums, copays, and deductibles.
Republicans say they won't discuss that until Democrats pass their funding bill with no changes.
What exactly is there to negotiate?
The shutdown ties 130 years ago when congressional Republicans gave up about half the Medicare cuts they wanted in return for a balanced budget.
Newt Gingrich shut down the government in 1995 because he wanted Clinton to cut Medicare. Clinton wouldn't do it.
We didn't let the fighting stop the negotiating. We also didn't let the negotiating stop the fighting.
The longest shutdown ever remains the one during President Donald Trump's first term. It holds the record of 35 days after Democrats refused to pay for a border wall.
Whatever it takes. I mean, we're going to have a wall.
He didn't get it. And when air traffic controllers started not showing up to work, the Republicans buckled on that.
Unions say this shutdown is hard on air traffic controllers, too. Pre-existing staff shortages have many working overtime, now without pay.
You're allowing outside stress to work its way into the control room.
I'm Mimi Kiley reporting.
If the shutdown continues, more federal programs and jobs could be affected, including services that many students and families in Chapel Hill depend on every day.
And continuing with the government shutdown, many are worried that their SNAP benefits may not be distributed. A letter to all regional SNAP directors from the USDA warned that, quote, if the current lapse in appropriations continues, there will be insufficient funds to pay full November SNAP benefits. Food pantries across the country have been having issues keeping shelves stocked and prices low. People are remaining optimistic that the community will come through and support these pantries to help them keep their doors open. Our local food pantry, Carolina Cupboard, is open for walk-ins Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and bi-weekly Saturdays from 12 to 4. Now we're live with our reporter, Emma Hill, who is at Carolina Cupboard. Emma, tell us what you're seeing over there.
Thanks, Mackenzie. I am here at Carolina Cupboard, located on South Campus. Joined by me today is Vice President Angelica Jameson. Angelica, walking here today, I noticed loads of students shoveling in what seem to be grocery bags. As Vice President, can you just tell me, how has the shutdown impacted Carolina Cupboard? Is there an increased demand of food resources, an increased demand of volunteers? What's the status so far?
Yeah, so being a food pantry at a college campus, we allow anyone with a PID to utilize our services. However, our primary demographics are definitely undergrad and grad students. With that being said, many college students are known to be kind of unsure about whether they qualify for SNAP benefits, or even if they do qualify, many college students don't even utilize the SNAP benefits. So far this semester, we've seen kind of a steady flow of guests entering the pantry. We have kind of a steady flow of usage of food, about 600 pounds per week, and have not really yet seen any effects from the government shutdown.
You guys heard it here. Carolina Cupboard is still pushing forward regardless of the government shutdown. Their hours of operations remain the same, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Emma. Another resource on campus is the Chapel Hill Community Fridge. With weekly restocks, the community fridge is open to all in need of food. The fridge is located in the right-hand building of the Union near the back exit. The fridge is open Monday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
A major topic on campus this week, and not just here. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein talked about it on Monday, saying AI will help us to be more productive and competitive as a state. And here at Chapel Hill, the administration has now announced a new school. For now, it's known as the School of AI. In early October, the university announced it would be combining the School of Information and Library Science and the School of Data Science and Society to form a new school yet to be named. Stanley Ahalt, Dean of the School of Data Science and Society, will become Dean of the new school. Students who are currently seeking a degree in the two original schools are still able to continue as planned, according to the university. There is still little information on the location of the school, and more will be announced in the upcoming faculty meetings at the end of this month and early November.
And speaking of schools, UNC students, don't fret. You can now log back into Canvas to access those assignments you've been procrastinating on after the website was offline earlier this week. On Monday at 3 p.m., Amazon released a statement explaining that it was investigating increased error rates related to Amazon Web Services. University media relations personnel stated, quote, the Amazon Web Services outage was on a system outside of and not controlled by the university, end quote. The websites impacted for the university were Team Dynamics, the system ITS uses for help requests, Canvas, where students can see their grades and assignments, and VoiceThread, a way for students and professors to upload assignments on Canvas. By 10 p.m. on Monday, the university released a statement saying the issue had been resolved and web services remained stable after monitoring.
UNC is investigating more incidents of stolen bikes and scooters on campus. The university announced in a statement through its emergency system, Alert Carolina. There are currently 4 open cases regarding the theft of motor vehicles on campus. 3 of them involve scooters, while the other was an electric bike. All 4 cases have been opened in the past 10 days, and all occurred outside of dorms. The 2 most recent cases both happened outside of Granville's South Building. There have been 30 total reports of stolen motor vehicles since August 22nd. The Alert Carolina message sent out to members of the UNC community was the second message of its kind since the beginning of the semester.
And a trial is ongoing for the man who fired shots on Franklin Street last Thursday night, according to a police report. Responded to shots fired by 74-year-old Gary Wayne Council outside of Italian Pizzeria 3 on Franklin Street. Council was arrested and is facing several charges, including first-degree attempted murder. If convicted, Council could be sentenced to over 30 years in prison.
That was a lot of information, but we still have more to get to.
Coming up on Carolina Week, how will AI impact your next job search? They're talking about it at ConvergeCon, a one-of-a-kind conversation happening this week on campus. What you need to know to be part of the conversation.
And grass versus turf. On the field, UNC has made changes. Why some athletes say it's better for their body.